Hi, I'm Sharon White, and today I'm going to be speaking to Anne McKeown, and she wrote an article for Holistic Living magazine. She's one of our experts, and she works with neurolinguistic programming, hypnotherapy and timeline therapy. And our last edition of Holistic Living magazine was Preventative Health. So hi Anne, how are you?
Hi there Sharon, good, thank you.
You're welcome. So I wanted to start interviewing the experts so that people, rather than just reading your work, they can really experience who you are and how you can help them. And, you know, preventative health is such a big subject out there, because if we really look at preventative health, we actually won't get sick half as much as what we do. And you and I are both on the same page of this, where mindset comes first. If you don't have a positive mindset, you don't have a positive body. So without me telling everybody all about your article, I'd love you to talk about your article and why you wrote this specific article to go in this magazine.
Okay, well thanks for that Sharon, thanks for the opportunity to share. Well, basically as a life coach, I work mainly with women, and the women that come and see me, they come and see me because they're in a lot of pain. Now, whether that's physical, emotional or spiritual pain, something in their life has cracked and broken, and they come as a last resort to say, I just can't keep going anymore, and there's a cry for help. And it breaks my heart, because I think, oh gosh, if you looked after yourself, if you'd learned to put yourself first more often, because as women we're not very good at that. We look after family, and you know, we put our efforts into our home and our friendships and our work. And by the time we get to ourselves, it can be quite depleted. So when I saw your topic of preventative health, it really resonated with me. And because even in my own life, I know that when I let myself off the hook, either with you know, not having early nights or not drinking enough water or not eating and thinking well, it has a huge impact on me. So I've got to keep reminding myself as well, and it's almost like a daily discipline. And I just see so much pain around me with clients that I just wanted to sort of share some of my learnings, so that you could then share it with your readers, and then it's that ripple effect of us all helping one another.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you say. So when it comes to preventative healthcare, what is it that actually stops us doing the thing that we all know, that we should drink the water, we all know that we should eat the healthy food, but when we're looking at mindset, what is the thing that stops us with preventative healthcare?
Well, you know, it's funny, because the things that we love tend to be the things that are not so good for us. When we're young, we're rewarded with things like have a sweetie. If you're good, I'll give you a sweetie, and so then we get addicted to sugar. And then when we get tired, we think, I need a reward. Well, what's a reward? Sugar's a reward. And that sugar can be in alcohol, it can be in cakes, it can, you know, it's in everything nowadays. And that's just one example. Another example is maybe television. You know, well, I'm tired, I'm going to zone out. Because when we were younger, you know, our parents would say, go and relax and rest and sit and watch telly, and that suited mum because she was busy. But actually we're not growing when we're just sitting zoning out watching telly. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I'm saying that we shouldn't do it every night and become a couch potato and spend time watching other people's lives instead of focusing on our own.
Yeah, so true. So when we're looking at natural health and holistic health, what steps can we put into place, do you think, to actually start looking after our body in a preventative way?
Well, I think one of the key things that I'm seeing is that people do know a lot of what they should do, and then we know we should have good habits and eat well and sleep well and drink lots of water and exercise, but we see it as almost a challenge that we have to fight and overcome. And what we're not doing is dealing with the thinking behind that. So you get some people who love the gym, and I'm not one of them. I like dancing, but I'm not good for running on a treadmill. But I see women who just love to go to the gym, and they wouldn't spend their time doing anything else because they've been doing it for so long. They know that positive feeling they get when the endorphins are released when their body feels relaxed afterwards, when their mind has been focused on the exercise rather than their worries. And so, but because they've been doing it for so long and it's become a positive pattern, but when we don't have positive patterns, the big jump is moving from bad habits to healthy habits. And that all comes down to your mindset. It's all around how you think about it. And what we think are treats are actually the things that hold us back. So we kind of have to re-educate ourselves to see, even in our language, for example, to say, I'm really looking forward to going to the gym, or, oh, I can't wait to have an apple. If you eat an apple every day, you will get up in the morning and your body will be craving an apple, because we get used to things. In the same way, if you have a cigarette every morning, you get up, your body's going to crave that cigarette. And we have to change the thinking to be, I am important. I need to look after myself physically as well as mentally and spiritually, and learn to put myself first for once. And actually, it's a positive for me to sleep well and eat well and not veg in front of the telly. And when we open our minds to that, we can then let more positive things in. So we can use the time reading about preventative health, reading about how to make ourselves mentally stronger, which then has an effect on the body.
Yeah, and I think this is key when we're looking at disease prevention. We really, really need to change our mindsets. We really need to take it a day at a time. And you said something really, really good in your article here, and I wrote it down. And it says, the secret to successful preventative health is routine and repetition. And that's what you're talking about now. So I'm just wondering if there's a tip that you can give somebody where they can really practice this routine and repetition so that they can actually get into their mindset of preventative health, disease prevention, and live in a healthier future using the tips that you can give them today.
Yeah, sure. I can do an exercise with you, and I'll talk you through it very quickly. And one of the things about human nature is we live in the now, or we live in the future. And what we don't see is the in-between. And there's a thing called the failure cycle. And the failure cycle is basically that period in between where we don't do what we sort of said that we will do. And then the future event comes and we haven't achieved what we thought we would. And then we think we're a failure. So to be able to deal with that, a technique that I share with clients is actually creating your future and letting the mind know that it can relax and be calm, because that future is certain as far as we can be certain about anything in life. So let me invite you to start by just closing your eyes. And we do that to block out any distractions and to be able to focus on the inside, to be able to focus on ourselves.
Hopefully,
and then the thing that we're going to do is take a really deep breath. And the reason that we do that is that we breathe without thinking about it. It's actually our unconscious mind that runs the body, and it runs our breathing. And often we can be breathing at a terribly fast pace. But when we take a deep breath, as you're doing beautifully now, we're sending out a message to the unconscious mind to say, you can relax now. You don't need to be running at this pace. You don't need to panic, because I'm going to start taking control. And the first signal of us taking control is that controlled breathing. And so I recommend that we breathe in for 7, really expand the lungs as much as you can, and breathe out for 11 counts. It's the 7-11 breathing. Because when you keep going and breathing out and out and out and out, you're letting go of all the stress and tension, and you can't be uptight and in your head at the same time with us breathing out. And now we're going to use the mind's eye to imagine the future that we want. So whether for you that's losing weight, stopping smoking, starting your own career, finding a partner, whatever it is that's missing in your life, the thing that you're craving. And what I'd like you to do is just float up out of your body where you're sitting now and go up as high as you can. And as you float up, you feel light. You feel free. And you look down, you see yourself sitting there now, and you feel relaxed. And I want you to float out to the future, and it can be to any time. It can be 3 months from now, it can be a year from now, but a period where you want to have the thing that you feel is missing in your life. And while you're still up high, look down, and I want you to see yourself with that thing. Now, whether it's in a situation or whether it's with people that you miss or something that you've created. And as you look down, you see that all the things that you wanted are there. You look the way you want to look. You feel the way you want to feel. You see the things you want to see. And so now I want you to float down, and I want you to go into your body in this place. And so now you're there, you're in the future, you've achieved all the things you set your mind on, all the things you've been working towards, all the things you crave. And I want you to turn up the volume on what you hear. So for some people, it might be their favourite music. It might be clapping and applauding. It might be people cheering you on. I want you to feel what you feel and be aware in your body. Is it excitement? And is it in your chest? Is it in your head? Is it churning in your stomach with excitement? And I want you to really intensify that feeling where you almost could jump out your skin. You just feel so at one with yourself and the world around you. And I want you to notice what you smell. Do you smell for your favourite flowers? Or a perfume that you love? Or the scent of someone that you miss? Or an animal that you care for? And by using the senses, we're letting the mind know that this is real. And we're telling the mind what it is that we're seeking, and that we're asking the unconscious to help us achieve it. And so while you're in this space, I want you to take an imaginary camera, a Kodak, and I want you to take a picture of yourself in this place. And all the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts, the visions, the smells, they're all captured in this Kodak picture. And you look at it and you smile, and you just know that that's your future. And I want you to put it in your pocket. And now you're going to float back out of your body and back up. Go as high as you can, where you're so far away from any of the issues below. You're floating, you're relaxed. You just feel at one. You can fly. This is your time. It's your life. And what we're going to do in a second is we're going to slowly float back to the present. But what I want you to do as you're coming back is look down and see stages of that journey that you've gone on. And what were you doing at each of those stages? What positive patterns had you put into place? What rituals and routines are in your life? What things are stepping stones to the eventual picture that's on the Kodak camera? And so just float back, nice and slow, look down, make a mental note of what it is that you're doing and how long it's taking, and just feel relaxed in that this will be. And you come above where you're sitting now, and you look down and you see yourself there. And I want you to float back down into your body. And you're going to take with you those emotions, those feelings, that vibe. You're taking the joy, the noises that you heard, the vision, the certainty, the knowing that you are in the future and you are healthy and you are well, that you're looking after yourself, that the future is bright and positive. And I want you to, when you can, take a big deep breath just to lock those feelings in place. Breathe in for the count of 7 and out for the count of 11. And just relax into the moment. Do that one more time. Going to breathe in, lock it into place, and breathe out and let go. And I want you to slowly open your eyes, and you're going to come back into the room. And I want you to remember that you've got that Kodak picture in your pocket. And I want you to take it out and look at it. And I want you to know that you've got that to take with you all the time. So whenever you're feeling a bit lost, or you're not sure where you're going, or you're not looking after yourself, you get out that picture, and that is the mental reminder of where you want to be and how you're going to get there. So that's just a very quick, short technique that can be very powerful. And obviously what I would then do with a client is we would then say, well, what were the stages and what do you need to do? And then we'd work through it together to make those, just imagining something doesn't mean that it's going to be for sure. It takes action as well. And I did say that in the article too, that rather than, we don't react, we act, we take action.
Thank you so much for that. I forget this. I do this with my clients as well, but you forget how powerful it is until you have one of these yourself.
You're on the receiving end, yeah.
What solutions our subconscious mind comes, what it comes up with. We do have the answers within us already. Sometimes so carried away with life and stress and busyness that just doing this technique, it gives you so much clarity. And thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure so many people will watch this and so many people will do that and then want to come and see it more because it's such a powerful technique.
Good. Yeah, and look, it's one of many, and that you just said it actually, that the mind is so powerful. There are people who, and I don't know the science behind this, but they clear themselves of illnesses and all sorts through the power of the mind, and we've tended to separate the two, but they have a huge impact on one another. I know even if someone's got depression, one of the things that GPs recommend now is for them to go and do exercise, go and have a walk in the park. That's medication, that's preventative care.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for giving us this exercise and chatting to us today. We'll chat to you more in the future. Underneath this video, there will be information on where people can find you. You are one of our experts at Global Healing Exchange and you write for us at Holistic Living Magazine. And we will be seeing you again in the future. So thank you so much for coming in today.
You're very welcome. Thanks, everybody. Bye.